Hey, so this is actually a special episode, like a bonus episode of More Than Work, and it's the first one I'm doing like this. We're coming up on a major election in the US. We're actually in the middle of it, and we're going to be closing out of that on November 4th. So it's kind of a big deal. It's something that's been on my mind a lot. I'm not going to discuss the politics of it, but I am going to discuss something that's important to me. When I was interviewing Renata, who, if you are caught up on More Than Work, you just heard her interview, there was a sixth question of the Fun Five. She asked for a sixth that we went over, and I'll have that audio here in a moment. And then she told me a little bit of other stuff that I'm going to actually include on the podcast as well, this special bonus episode. But one thing, just while she was talking, one thing that resonated with me is the idea that I haven't had in a while, that I don't always give up. And I don't give up easily, and I rarely give up at all. And I just wanted to share with people about that idea, because I don't know what's going to happen in a couple days. And so this will live on longer than what's going to happen then. But the idea is that no matter what, we don't give up. We need to continue to fight whatever our cause is, whatever our battle is. Mine might be different than yours. I know there are people who won't agree with things I stand for. But as someone who's gone through many things in their life, as someone who continues to, for me, battle like a chronic illness that I essentially see people not willing to fight for, even for health insurance, right? I just know that it's important not to give up. Find out or figure out what is important to you. Figure out what you stand for. Figure out what's important in your life. It could just be your family. It could be a friendship. It could be something that's outside of your home that you fight for. It could be your own happiness or your own health. Whatever it is. Maybe it's something at work. Maybe there's something going on and you're not sure what to do, but you know it's not right. Whatever it is, figure it out and stand for something. I think that's one thing people don't do. That's one thing I see maybe friends don't do. They don't stand for anything. And I get frustrated because sometimes I feel like I have to stand for so much because others aren't standing for anything. And that's not fair, and that's not a burden or pressure to put on people. It's just we all have our own battles and our own things that we need to do. I don't know, again, like I said, what's going to happen in a couple days, but what I do know is either way, no matter how it turns out, there will be things to fight for. And there will be things to celebrate in our lives, and there will be things that we may be mourning. Because, look, if I'm happy in a few days, someone else isn't. And I don't know the impact on them. I know the impact on me, and I know why I stand where I do. So I think, it's going back to kindness and being kind to others, being kind to ourselves, and just finding that thing that you stand for. I don't know if this kind of rant helps someone. I hope it does. So let's just get to something a little bit lighter, and that's that sixth question of the top, or the Fun Five, that Renata answered for me. And if you haven't heard her interview yet, please do, because she talks about something really great about changing careers and about service to others, and those are both incredibly important things. Thank you for listening. Thank you for going through the Fun Five with me.
These were Fun Fives.
Good. I'm glad they're fun. All right. I like them.
Dog or cat?
Actually, I know. Well, the thing is, I often will do that on work calls. I'll say, all right, guys, I have two things. And then I'll be like 5 or whatever. So I was really conscientious. I'm going to have a Fun Five. It's going to be recorded. So I want to always have 5, Now, if I follow up with other questions, that's fine. Let's do dog or cat. Okay. We'll both do it. So dog or cat?
1000% dog. I have 3 of them. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So there you go. I'll probably say cat. I always had a cat growing up. I had one named Dave, and he was the best cat.
Dave, he was more like a cat, probably, like a dog cat.
Yeah, he was just kind of a
Yeah.
bro. He would watch
Yeah.
TV with me and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
So,
kind of cool.
but I'm allergic to
I'm
both.
allergic to
So I think.
cats pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
Dogs not so bad. But we have Lexi, who's 19 and a half. We have Zoe, who's 19, and we have our pug, who's 11. So they're old.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do have one thing to say that I don't think most people, I don't know, you can keep it in or not keep it in. It's up to you. But
Sure.
one thing that people don't realize, or you might not even realize, is what a huge impact you have made on me. And I want to go back to the run that we did, the rock and roll. A picture, it showed up in my feed, not, so gosh, it must have been back in like June, because that's when we did it. And I remember you so determined to do that event, and your friends had bailed on you, and I had been training to do the run. And I think, you know, when you were saying like what advice, I think one of the things is that it's not all about you sometimes in life, like yourself. And then when you get into a situation, and you might go into it thinking one thing, like I went into that run going, I'm going to crush my time. I've been training and stuff. And then when I saw you, and I saw, you know, kind of how bummed out you were that your friends bailed on you and whatnot, I realized, you know, it's not my day. This is not the day for me to do this. This is the day to support you and your finish, to get to that finish line. And I just remember, like, it was so flipping rewarding to get you to that finish line. Like when we'd walk and we'd run that little bit, and then we'd walk and like, I was just like overcome with joy and so proud and determination. And I think those are the moments that really get me going and keep me going and doing what I want to do. But yeah, you know, it's total inspirational for you. You are. And, you know, the fact that you do these bike rides, and I love your posts, and, yeah, so a lot can be said about you, Rabiah, too, being very inspirational.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I remember us running on the 163 freeway. That was brutal. It was so slanted. It was so slanted. But yeah, I've still quoted what you said that day too. You go, yeah, walking's a lot different than running or something.
Yeah, it is. Well, because like when you're training, right, that's like the 50-mile walk. People think, okay, not a big problem. But you're like, the walking it is totally different than training to run it, because it's different muscle groups. You don't realize it. Your knees start hurting after a while, or it might not hurt. Like, so I'm like, okay, Robbie, we're going to break this up. We're going to do a little jog. Oh, God, I had to get my knees a break. The backs of my knees were killing me. We finished. I think I was more exhausted than than if I ran the whole thing.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. And I think that, you know, anyone listening, I mean, it's just a matter of finding what you're able to do and doing it right. That's really what, to me, it is. And people you're working with now, what you're able to do, you do. And then people are there to help you. And that's it.
Yep, definitely.
So that was it. That was the bonus episode. Thanks again for tuning in and listening. And I just thought it was a kind of a nice thing to share that I had cut out of the original podcast. If you can, please subscribe, please review. If you like what you're hearing, if you have suggestions for guests, send them over to morethanworkpod@gmail.com. And thanks for all the support.